Hello, welcome to Thursday's solo episode. This is alarming. My usual platform that I use to record is not working for some reason. It's saying I don't have a camera, but like I do. I'm looking right at it. You can see me. Hi. I tried logging out, logging back in. It's not working. So I went on Zoom and just I'm recording myself in a Zoom meeting with nobody else on the call. And I feel like a loser. But, anyways, here we are. I am still not set up in the studio. As you can see, my kitchen behind me. My husband took Milo to Toys R Us. Yes, we still have Toys R Us in Canada. Every time I talk about Toys R Us, people in the US are devastated because there's no more Toys R Us in the US. We still have them here. They're thriving. They're doing well, probably because we buy Lego from them once a week. Milo wants a 4+ Lego. You know how they come with ages, like recommended ages on the box. So the other day we had a 4+ box and he was able to do the whole thing by himself. You know what I just realized? How am I going to get the audio from this recording? Because on the podcast platform, it saves your audio separately from your video. And now I'm thinking, I don't even know if this will work. I'm so irritated. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to open up my other platform and I'm going to just record myself talking so that I have both a ready and a one and a two and a three. Are we using the proper microphone here? I'm sorry, guys. This is like technical difficulties. Oh my God. Okay, what? Also, when I got this new laptop, it downloaded my program, like the new version. And so now I don't know where anything freaking is. It's like, can we just keep things the freaking same? You know, it's like when you update your iPhone or like download the new version of Instagram. I'm lost now. I can't even check which microphone it's picking up because I don't know how to do it. So I hope it's this microphone and not the stupid um speakers on my laptop. This is going to be a fun episode to record, okay? Because I'm probably going to cough 900 times and that whole intro was just messed up. So let's do it again. Welcome to the mom room. This is Thursday's messed up solo episode because my studio is not set up, as you can tell. The program that I usually record on was not working. It was saying I don't have a camera, and I most certainly do have a camera because I paid a lot of money for this freaking laptop from Apple, Mr. Apple, and it has a camera on it, a very good camera. So then I logged into Zoom to do it all on Zoom, and then I realized, wait a minute, Zoom doesn't record, at least I don't think it does, record a separate file for video and for audio. So how am I even going to put this out into the podcast universe? In my mind, I'm thinking I could probably send the video file to my editor and he'd probably just extract the audio from the video. I'm sure that's a thing, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, Renee, what if that's not a thing? So here we are. I just recorded an intro twice and I might cut out the first one. Um, so as I was saying, my husband brought Milo to Toys R Us because we still have those in Canada because Milo all day has been asking to get a Lego set that has the 4+ on the box. You know how they have the recommended ages on the box. So he figured out that the ones that are 4+ he can do by himself. I watched him do it. It was so impressive. He just followed the instructions in the booklet and did the whole thing. It was like a little Spider-Man car and like a Hulk car. So they went to go get a 4+ Lego. I told my husband, I was like, don't come back unless it's like within a half hour because I'm going to be recording. And then I remembered that I also have a dog and it's a new house. We don't have blinds on the windows. It's got big windows and he's probably going to see people walking outside and bark. I also have a raging cough. I don't have COVID. Did I test for COVID? I have not, but I get chronic sinus infections and I know what this is. My sinus infection is clearing up, but it's almost like it goes from your sinuses into your chest. It's like I woke up with all the stuff that was in my sinuses dried to the walls of my chest. My coughing attack in the morning, once I started drinking coffee and it was like breaking it up, was intense. And I was like, oh my God, I hope nobody comes to the door or, like you never know. My neighbors here are so nice that it would not surprise me if one just like shows up at the door at any given time. And I've never lived in a place like that. Usually it's like we don't really talk much to our neighbors and everybody just kind of keeps to themselves. Like you say hi and you're friendly and stuff, but here it's like we live on Wisteria Lane. And if you're not watching Desperate Housewives or you haven't seen it, you need to watch it. But yeah, my coughing attack this morning was nuts. And I have these like rage coughing fits. It seems to be like if I keep talking, I can kind of keep it at bay. Does that even make sense? Yes, it does. So I'll keep talking. I'll probably have to cough. It's a whole thing. So let's go. One thing I wanted to talk about was the amount of effort and work that we adults put into lawn care. Lawn care, trees. Like we just had a guy come give us a quote to trim the goddamn trees because I am obsessed with trees. Is this whole thing. Like I love looking out every single window of the house and it's just like trees everywhere. But then also like our house is full of spider webs and we have mosquitoes and there's leaves all on the roof and in the gutters that we had to get cleaned out. And now we have to have a guy that's like an arborist. That's what he does. He knew so much information about trees. I could not believe it. I was just like staring at him like I have nothing to contribute to this conversation. It was like, yes, this is a maple. This is looking pretty healthy. Talking about all this stuff. Anyways, some of the branches are on the house pretty much, and some of the branches are so big and long that it's like weighing down the tree, and it's not healthy for the tree. My mom's the one that pointed that out to us. So we had this guy come out, like look at all the trees to give us a quote to clean them up and do whatever he thinks is necessary to do. It's like $2,000. And we're like, okay, $2,000, fine. My husband was like, wow, that's a lot more expensive than I thought it was going to be. And I was like, it's probably because it's such a niche thing and people can't really do it themselves. Like these are massive trees. It's dangerous and you can't do it yourself. So they can charge whatever the fuck they want. We're going to do it because we have to. It's like part of taking care of your home, which is incredibly expensive. OMG. I miss just like renting a condo downtown. And you know that every single month you're going to have to pay X number of dollars to live in that spot. And that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. So there's that. And then we have to put up a fence, incredibly expensive. We might push that to next summer because we cannot find a color of fence. We wanted to get not the plastic, but like the composite that looks like wood, but it's not wood. We wanted to get that and we can't find a color that matches the house because the house has like this honey blonde wood on it. So we're like, we can't get like an orangey composite deck or like a light gray, like it'll look terrible. So it's not like you have a white house or like a brick house and then you can get any color fence and it just looks normal. Our house is black and like a blonde wood color. So it kind of has to match the house or else it's going to look really odd. We can't find a composite color to match the house until we did find one. And it's from this company that's like double the price of every other company. So we're like, what the hell? We don't really want to pay $40,000 for a fence right now because we have to put blinds in all the windows, which is incredibly expensive. And like my mom keeps warning me. She's like, Renee, like, did you get a quote from the blind guy? Like, it's incredibly expensive, super expensive. And I don't know if that's for the blinds themselves or if that's for them to come and install them as well. We'll have to see because I'm sure we could just order the blinds and then have someone come put them in, like Dan or my dad. So, anyways, there's that. And then there's all the storage. Like, we want to put a bunch of built in storage around the house, which is also super expensive. So, we kind of have to pick and choose. We don't have a shed. So, we're going to have to get a shed. We also would like to put storage stuff in the garage. So, we have to do that. And then there's just like the typical buying furniture and like wanting to decorate your new home that you just bought. We just bought a new couch. It arrives tomorrow. I cannot wait. It is going to be so much more comfy than the couch that we currently have. I cannot wait to just lounge on it and be comfortable. The couch that we have right now is really nice and it looks beautiful, but it's more for like a sitting room as opposed to a living room that you watch TV in all the time and that you want to lay down and like watch a movie with your husband, snuggle with Milo to like watch something or like it's just not that couch. And so I find myself, I always just want to go up to my bed and read my Kindle. And now this will be a good experiment because it's like, do I want to go up and read my Kindle because that's what I want to do? Or am I just so freaking uncomfortable in this living room? So we shall see. Speaking of Kindle, I don't even know why I went off on that rant. I forget what I was talking about. Oh yeah, the lawn care. Like I can't believe how much time and effort and money, mental effort, physical effort, water, fertilizer, like all the things. I cannot believe everything that goes into maintaining a yard. Like we have never had a nice yard. We've tried to, and we can't upkeep it. Like we're terrible. Now my husband says that he has so much, like so much more time because he's not on call every freaking day here. He's going to take care of the yard. And it's like, we have to water the grass. And just think about that for a moment. You literally sit there and spray water on the grass for so long. It's a waste of water. I feel guilty sometimes because I'm like filling up a bathtub to lounge in. I'm like, oh my God, like so much water. We're watering the grass. Like, why? Who decided that houses would have these big yards or not big, depending where you live, but that it was prestigious or like it was very lovely to have super green, luscious grass all over your yard. Like that's hard to freaking keep up. The grass at our last house, it was like a nightmare. I should post a picture of what it ended up looking like at the end of us living there. Absolutely terrible. Full of weeds. Full. Like you could barely walk barefoot, like you would get stabbed. But everyone else on our street had like these beautiful, luscious, green, healthy lawns. And I'm like, what do you do to get that? Why is that a thing? Like, why is having beautiful grass a thing? And something I love about our current neighborhood is that a lot of people just have their front yard looks like there's just wildflowers all over the front yard and it's not really super maintained. It's not like meticulous where, you know, I was trying to look up gardens or like examples of um flower beds in front of front porches to show my husband on Pinterest and everything was so like how do you call it? Like tailored like the roses are in this little spot and this is this. It was all like cookie cutter. Like I didn't like it at all. I love the look of there's just wildflowers growing everywhere. And so many yards in this neighborhood have that. So I kind of want to do that in our front yard, but I couldn't even find examples on Pinterest. So I'm going to have to take pictures in our neighborhood and show my husband. Hold on. He just asked me if I want something from Dairy Queen. And sadly, I have to say no because my sister sent me all these TikToks from doctors. The doctors made the TikToks about sinus infections and like recurrent sinus infections, and you should really avoid dairy, they said, and sugar. So Dairy Queen is literally those two things combined. So I've been trying to avoid dairy and sugar, although I had risotto last night, which was definitely dairy based. My voice is just, am I Celine Dion? Because I sound like a frog. Okay. I wanted to talk a little bit about the scrunchie collab that I have coming up with Loop Lifestyle. The video of me where my mom was like, look at your wrist, because I had the scrunchie on my wrist at afternoon tea in London. That was a Loop scrunchie. So it's kind of funny that I'm collaborating with them because that video like blew up. So their scrunchies are my absolute favorite. And I chose the material that I love that they have. It's almost like it feels like a bathing suit. See, you can see it here. It's like bathing suit material. I'm pretty sure they said it's recycled materials. I'm not sure. But they're large. They have different sizes of scrunchies, and they were like, what size do you want the ones for your collection? And I was like, the biggest ones. I love them. The little tag, the mom room loop. But yeah, it's like bathing suit material. That's how I describe it. So we have a green one, a pink one, and then the checkered one. The names for the scrunchies are incredible, and I will share them with you here. I don't know if I'm allowed to, but I hope nobody finds out and I get in trouble. So the green one is called Guilt Green because this is a mom inspired collection, right? So we have Guilt Green, we have Default Pink, and then we have a checkered scrunchie, and that one is called Screen Time. And they emailed me and they were like, do you want to name the scrunchies? I was like, frick yeah. And I thought of those names in like 30 seconds. So super proud of those. We also in the collection have 2 pairs of socks. One is a white pair with the emoji with the crying, laughing tears, because I use that emoji all the time. And then the other pair is a neon color and it says, you seem fun on the back of the socks. We have a t-shirt that says, you seem fun, and a checkered belt bag, which I use the pink one every single day right now. So I'm excited to have a checkered one. Bubbles is standing on our windowsill, ready to bark. Bubbles, come here. Come here. Come here. Yes, get down. You're not a cat. Oh my God. Anyways, that collection with Loop drops on July 23rd, or it launches. Drops. What are you, Renee? Harry Styles? You're not dropping an album. You're launching a collection. Um, we do have a giveaway going on the podcast account. So go do whatever you need to do to be entered into the giveaway. It's to get the entire collection. And one thing, oh, I should do a poll actually on Instagram. Who was I talking to the other day? Oh, my hairdresser or hairstylist. I never know what to call hair people that work in the hair industry. Is it hairdresser? Because I feel like I used to call people hairdressers when I was like 13, but I think now we call them hairstylists. Anyways, I was asking her if when she was younger, she remembers the mall having a daycare for kids. And I don't mean like there was a daycare attached to the mall that people could bring their kids to on a regular basis, like you were signed up at that daycare. I mean, when I was growing up, our mall had a kids area. You know, when you go to IKEA and there's the kids area, you can drop your kids off and go shopping. The mall had that. And why doesn't that exist anymore? Like a daycare or like a kids play center at the mall. Where did that go? Why did that idea vanish? Or was it just the one mall in my small town that had that? Who is texting me while I'm recording? Drive me nuts. It's my sister, of course. I don't have any other friends. So yeah, was that a thing for you guys? Like a daycare at the mall? And how incredible would that be if that was a thing? Oh, and now my husband's sending me a picture of my son at Dairy Queen. Let's see. Yes, they're all very happy eating their ice cream. That's perfect. Oh my God, I wanted to talk about this. Okay, this is good. I don't know if you guys follow Philippa Jackson. She posted this thing the other day. They're in New York, and she was saying how they were being followed by this like sketchy looking woman for like blocks and blocks, and like they would turn a corner and she was like right on them. And Philippa thought she was trying to steal something like out of her pockets. Like she was all confused. And I think the story ended eventually with her saying something to her, and then the woman like took off. And it made me think of this story. So my friends and I were in Montreal for a conference, I believe. And then one of the nights we went out, and this was at the times when you would go to an ATM before you went to a bar so that you had money on you. Is that still a thing? I don't know. I don't go to bars. So I remember we were walking somewhere and there was a bank. It was on a major like downtown street, but it was late. And you know how banks in a downtown area have like the little place that you walk into? It's like the lobby of the bank where the ATM machines are. But then the doors to get into the actual bank are locked. So you can just kind of get into where the ATM is. So there was three of us and we went in there. One of us was using the ATM, and this really creepy guy came right into where we were, and it was not a big area at all. There was like two ATMs. I think two of us were using each ATM, and then my one friend Ricky was standing like right behind us because she was going to use it next. And this guy comes in, like, doesn't look like he needs to use an ATM. He was just like standing super close to us, like being weird. And out of nowhere, my friend who was not using an ATM, like we're all panicking internally, she turns around and she's like, "Excuse me, sir, you're making us uncomfortable. Can you leave?" I almost shit my pants. And like she said it with such authority and like, "Excuse me, sir, you're making us uncomfortable. Can you leave?" And he just left. And I was like, holy fuck. Like, this is a lesson for everyone. You need to say something. Like, don't just like panic internally. Like, if it's irrational and you know it's irrational and you're like, okay, Renee, like, you know, then don't say anything. But you know, there's like those moments where you're like, something is off, something's not right. Like, I'm uncomfortable. This person is like up to no good. Say something, and say it with like, you fucking mean business. Because more often than not, they don't want confrontation and they will just leave. Like Philippa was saying, that woman just left. And that's what happened in that situation. And I was like, oh my God, my friend is a badass bitch. Like, excuse me, sir, you're making us uncomfortable. Can you leave? I was just like, not to mention, this is my friend that like works in with high risk offenders in like federal prisons. Um, so she has, you know, like she knows what's up. So that was just like a lesson that I wanted to share with everybody. And Philippa's story about being followed brought that memory back to me. And I think it's a good thing to share, just so that if you ever find yourself in a situation like that, think about Ricky and have the courage to just say something. Say something, I'm giving up on you. What's that song? I booked a trip to LA. I'm very excited. I'm trying to book some recordings. I already have one in the books at that cute little studio that I recorded with the Dumb Dads at. It's called Melrose Podcast. It's so simple. Like you just show up, they they record audio, video, upload all the files to the freaking Google Drive or whatever, and you walk out. It's amazing. It's incredible. So I have one recording booked. I am trying to get one or two more booked. So stay tuned for that. It will be very exciting. I love doing in-person interviews, especially when I don't have to set up the freaking cameras and stuff. So that'll be in August. And my sister-in-law, Caroline, is going to meet me there. She's in Vancouver. So I'm very excited. I love going to LA. I say LA, but we're really just in West Hollywood with her. She's also a professional photographer. And she was saying that she might want to do some like photo shoot stuff too. So I hope so, because that'll be super fun. It's probably going to be hot as balls. But that's okay. We'll just dress for the occasion, you know? Speaking of dressing for the occasion, I need to find some appropriate clothes to wear in LA. So yeah, I think that's it for me for now. I'm shocked that I didn't have a raging coughing fit and like barf all over this microphone, because sometimes I cough so hard that I want to vomit. How long have I been recording for? I don't even know where to find out that information on Zoom. So we don't know. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we're good. It's like 25 minutes. All right. I guess I will edit this now and take out all my coughs so that I don't pierce your guys' eardrums. But thank you so much for listening. I'm very excited. We have been working on the live event. I have some guests nailed down. We're thinking late October, early November. So stay tuned for that. And I'm sure we'll do like a giveaway to, you know, oh my God, give some tickets away to some people, some listeners. Might do an after party. Like, hello, mom's gone wild. Oh my God, my phone was recording what I was saying. That's funny. Also, have not forgotten about the new podcast, The Daily Solo, or The Daily Podcast. I met with my network about it. We're super excited about it. We are just trying to nail down a name. I have album cover or like podcast cover inspo in my mind. It is incroyable. I cannot wait. I am thinking start date of October 1st. And if this is all information that I've already shared with you guys, I'm sorry. I can't remember what I fucking ate for dinner 2 minutes ago. So I'm like a goldfish. And sometimes I think about things that I want to tell you guys. And I'm like, Renee, I'm pretty sure you already said that. Like, have I talked about the Little Mermaid and about how she's 16 in the cartoon? Did I talk about that? I have it in my notes on my phone, and I didn't. If I did talk about it, I forgot to erase it. And I was like, oh, I really wanted to talk about that, but I'm pretty sure I already did. Anyways, Ariel was 16 in the original movie. I just thought that was interesting, a little fun fact. So yeah, thanks for listening, guys. It's always a pleasure. And I cannot wait to do this daily and just have so much fun shit to chat about pop culture and ask Renee and just good old stuff. The mom room is not changing at all. So don't fret, my pet. All right. Good night, guys. I hope everybody sleeps and doesn't cough up a lung.